Welcome to Squirrel, the podcast for distracted writers, hosted by Candace J. Thomas and Jody L. Milner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Squirrel. This is Candace.
This is Jody.
And welcome to the very favorite episode of your entire season. You're going to love this one. It's all about cats.
Because that's exactly what kind of episodes the world needs more of.
We all need
crazy
some
cat
cats
videos
right now. We need crazy cat videos. Definitely. Yep. Cat-like typing detected. We're going to talk about cats and the relationship with writers. And it's funny. I got this idea because I was in a Zoom meeting not too long ago. And seriously, like 3 of us had our cats come in front of the computer and get on our laps. And I was like, why do writers always seem to have cats? And I got this book several years ago, but it's called Writers and Their Cats. And it goes through and you can see their writer and the cat that they had when they were writing these books. And
what Candy doesn't want to tell you is her cat actually wrote this episode.
He was on my lap when I was writing
Came
it.
up and just started.
That's why it looks so awful, and it looks like I may have voice to texted many of it because I couldn't
possibly.
type.
We don't judge.
Well, no one knows. No one knows what's on these papers. They don't.
You're right.
They don't understand.
Half the time, I don't know what's on this paper.
We're just fine. We're doing this
great. Fun. They're suggestions, guidelines, as it were.
Yeah, that's not a real thing. There is something special about writers and cats, and that's what I want to talk about. They're like our muses, our imaginary friends, our friend familiar.
Guardians of the underworld.
Yeah, we're going to talk about cats and writing.
All right. So you wanted to know why we think there's a connection between writers and cats and companionships. And I have a theory.
Okay.
Because they are the perfect writer companion. They're quiet most of the time. They generally manage themselves, but they like to keep you company. I mean, that said, I don't have cats.
No,
I've never tried writing with a needy kitty.
You should come over anytime. My cat will, like, you sit on the couch, my cat will come over and lay on your lap just because.
I would take in some kitty love.
Yeah.
I like cats. In one of my former lives, I say this and people are like, do you believe in reincarnation? No, my past.
Just before you were writing and before you were a mother and before you had all these other things.
Yeah, in my not too distant past, I was a veterinary technician and I got to play with kitties and puppies and farm animals. And I miss them. Yeah. I miss having furry friends.
Oh. Yeah, you can definitely borrow any of my cats anytime.
I've seen your cats.
They're fun.
I like your cats. We haven't bonded though.
Oh, it won't take long. I promise. So yeah, as I said, cats often wander into the Zoom frame when we're having meetings. I know that when I get out my laptop, it is like exactly when my cat wants to be with me. Like, oh, well, you just opened this. Well, this is when I really need you. And it's not because...
like kids.
Yeah.
It's the second you're trying to work, they're like, hey,
no, I need you over here. Yeah, exactly.
I have a dumb question for you.
Yeah. I know that my cat likes my keyboard for, I don't know, maybe because it's a light, maybe because
it's warm.
Warm.
It's cuddly.
Maybe because my fan is broken, so my whole computer is heating up. And it's like, yes, this is awesome. I'm loving this warmth here. I don't even know. My house is too small for me to have an office at the moment. So what I have is this like tray that it's a writing desk that you can just sit down on your bed or on your lap. And it's been perfect bridge so that my cat can lay underneath it or on my lap and not on my computer.
Ooh.
It's been amazing.
And it's a little cuddly, small space.
Yeah, so he can't even get up there.
It's perfect.
It has been very lovely. But I don't know. They just like my hot computer, I guess. I don't know. But there is there is a connection that writers have with a companion like a cat. Not needing, as you said, they don't need very much. But as a writer, we're very solitary. You know, we're in these worlds in our head that are coming out in our computers, and we're spending time with these characters. And so to have a cat come by us reminds us of how human we are and how much we need that companionship, or how much we're still alive and still need to, I don't know, clean the litter box or feed them or something. You know, they just remind us about our humanity. How about that? So.
And all I have are my imaginary friends.
Oh, no. Well, you have allergies. That's unfair.
I know. Breathing is important in our family. We'd like to continue to do so.
Well,
I know. Picky, right?
Maybe it's overrated. I
don't know. Favorite cat characters?
In books.
In books.
In books or in general, I guess. I like the Cat in the Hat. How about that?
You know what? Stick with a winner we like.
I like Cat in the Hat. I used to go out when I was in like 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade. I would go to the library a lot in our school, and I would check out all of the Garfield books. They were long and
yeah, they had like the spine was
they
skinny.
were horizontal, yeah, and they were
these
long,
big long pages,
so that you could just read the comics. And at that age, I thought they were hilarious. And now that I think about them, they're just not that fun. But
oh, come on, John Arbuckle, he's the best.
There is a website, I think, that just picks out like it's Garfield without Garfield, I believe it's called.
That's really odd.
It is so funny because it's just like all these John things or Odie things, and you try to make sense of it. It's really funny. Anyway, Garfield without Garfield, really funny. The Baron from the Cat Returns, or Whisper in the Heart is what it is. And the Cat Returns. That was the first anime that I ever watched. And so I really loved that character. And who else? Skippy John Jones, I guess. Is that in your realm of understanding Skippy John Jones?
No.
He's a Siamese.
Good.
He's rather mischievous.
I imagine. They tend to be troublemakers.
How about you?
Apparently, I don't read nearly enough cat books. I have a dearth of cat books. That doesn't sound right now that I said it out loud. Like, the one I could think of was the Cheshire Cat, which we might have loved on way too much during the Trickster episode. And
it doesn't matter.
But he is a trickster, so.
He's a cat. He's a lovely cat.
He is. But I think because he is a cat, it makes him even more of a trickster. So, like.
True. So there you go.
That is the one that I could think of as a really fun cat character that's more of a lead character instead of just set dressing. So that's mine. I don't have a lot though, so I'm just going to own Cheshire Cat and
well, but he's still a side character. I was looking for main characters.
And like I said, I don't read books.
I guess you just picked the Cat in the Hat, books. Right?
I would have picked Cat in the Hat, I guess.
Because the next question I have is side characters.
I know, that's why I had to find something better.
Side characters or companions. So can you list any of those?
There's the book series, The Golden Compass, and they have the demons or the familiars in them. And so every person in this world has an animal familiar, and then they call them their demons. And they spell it differently.
But no, it's like their spirit.
Yeah, it is like it's a fraction of
again.
Their soul that is appearing in these other characters. And there's a couple of them that are cats. The main character doesn't have a cat, though. She has, I think it's a ferret for a while. They can change until you get old enough, and then they kind of find a form that matches like what your soul wants, I guess. But there is a couple cat characters in there that I thought were like it's just done really well. The whole idea of the familiars is really done really well, and I think they could all be cats, honestly. But I do like them because they're crucial to the world and the way the world works and the way the plot works. So that's the closest thing I could find to a cat as side character.
No, it's awesome. I thought of there's a book called Starter Villain by John Scalzi, I believe, and it's hilarious because in Starter Villain, the whole world really is run by this organization of cats. Like they don't speak, but they have computers that know everything, read their minds or can speak for them. But they really are in control of all of the secret societies, of any of the underdoings of politics, and all of the villainy. It's hilarious. I really highly recommend that book. I also loved Mr. I still love Mr. in the Harry Dresden books. He's a really great character that just comes, and he just shows, I think it helps define Harry as a character because he is kind of just this tough guy that takes on a lot of these really awful baddies. But to have and own a cat that he endears and loves so much and that he is worried about and has to rescue out of his apartment sometimes, it softens that character a bit. Just having him love a cat. I maybe when you do have a tough character, give him a cat and see what happens.
I mean, it worked for John Wick.
Oh,
it's a dog.
That puppy.
But yeah.
I fell in love with that puppy.
Mm-hmm.
I find it extremely justifiable that you should just massacre so many people because of this puppy. Oh my gosh.
It's what the puppy represented.
I understand what
There's
the
a
puppy
lot.
represents.
I finally did watch it.
Oh, so you do know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Oh, I love that one. I almost love that one. It's pretty cool. Okay, what are specific cat-like attributes that make them fun to write or to read about? I'll go first. Cats always act as they know more than you.
Oh, yeah.
Because they really do. They are superior beings. If you didn't know or spend any time with them, they really think that. They own the entire house. So they use that as a characteristic in your story is just super charming. They also don't care about things until they are completely obsessed with them because they're like, I don't care about that toy. Why are you doing that? I don't care about that. And then they're like, but it's still there. Why is it still there? What has it got against me? And then it attacks it. And then it doesn't trust anything. And then it needs to know all of its secrets and it goes crazy. Oh, cats. I just love them so much. One thing that I observe from my own cats is territory. And that is also really funny to observe. In my house, I have a couple of different scratch pads all around so that they won't scratch all the other things in my house. And they are territorial over these scratch pads. And it's so funny to watch them where the dominance is because I feel that my cat Archer, he came first and then this other interloper came in and we call them stepbrothers. But Archer really, he's like everything in the house he owns. It's basically his. So when Vlad is on a scratch pad, he's like not far away, just watching and going, you're on my stuff. It's hilarious to see those guys just bicker, and it really is fun. There's no big fighting. There's just a lot of like territory swapping.
Intense staring.
Super funny. Anyway, what about you?
So I think cats just exude main character energy. Like that's what they've got. So they always seem like they know what they want and they know how to get it. And then they're just really fun to watch, like you were saying. The way they move, like they're curious. They want to know what's going on. So I think, they're just slinky and mysterious, and it's like they're always formulating a plan. It might be the worst plan ever, but it's like they have their own little like character theme song in their head as they're moving around. Don't look at me. Yes. Like they just have this main character energy, which is super fun because they're always like the silent partner. They're just kind of, they actually don't do much.
No,
they really don't, but they think they do.
Mm-hmm.
They think everything they do is super important or super relevant. So I don't know.
Yep. So
They're fun.
Okay. Cats as a source material or as a comfort animal. Why are writers drawn to cats? And how does neurodivergence benefit from cat or animal companionship? Do you have any thoughts on this?
Science. We'll go back to science.
Science.
Science says that petting a furry friend releases oxytocin, which is the love and trust hormone. This is a good thing because it can help bring down your heart rate. It can help even out your breathing. It can help regulate your blood pressure. It helps you just feel good. And so I don't know if all writers are super high strung, but I think we tend to be more emotional. We tend to really dive into things. And so having a calming presence is really nice.
When we have to write dark and deep, it can get really hard. And I totally understand that, what you're saying.
And you can't go and dump that on your significant person in your life a lot of the time. And so having something fluffy and furry that doesn't care what you talk about to it, I could see that being really, really nice. But again, allergies. So you too.
Yeah. You come over, pet my cats all the time.
I need me a therapy cat.
Yes.
I have stuffed animals. It's not quite the same.
Not quite.
Not quite.
They
don't poop.
Yeah, you smelled my cat when we walked down to the studio because he made this turd. He's super stinky. So I usually have to get rid of that really fast. Anyway, that was something. Cats have a very calming nature, and I love that you brought up the science behind it because I didn't have any of that. I had an awful day not too long ago, and I was like, I don't know what I need. And my husband's like, you just need a cat on your lap and to make things better. And seriously, my cat knew I was having a bad day. They know things. And he came, he cuddled, and we had some great time. And it did make me feel better. So, and I think our lives get really very busy, and cats remind us that sometimes we just need a spot in the sun and to take a nap.
Aww.
Like, they have the hardest days ever. Oh, why did you even wake? Like, I'll turn on the light. Oh my gosh. I've been sleeping for 10 hours here, and you just woke me up. How rude of you. I know that my brain is often always working. It's constantly going. Do you have a hard time getting your brain to calm down at night?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes I struggle and I have to put on some noise or some like a show that I've seen 1,000 times just to get my brain to shut up because it's constantly working. And petting cats really does quiet my brain. So it's true. They're stupidly amusing. That's what I love about cats. The end. There's our cat episode.
Yay.
Your listener assignment. Please go pet a cat or put a cat in your story somewhere and see what kind of mischief it can make or whatever. I just so squirrely here, but I have just started reading the third Emily Wilde Compendium of Lost Worlds, I believe, or Lost Things. Compendium of Lost Things is what it's called. And the very first line is hilarious, and it's about a cat who, they're trying to throw this cat into a different dimension. It doesn't want to go, and it's so funny. I wish I had the first line.
I can just see it like clinging to the edges of the portal.
I know.
Like when I try to put one into a carrier, and they're like, no.
And Emily Wilde's character is so like matter of fact and like, I don't, this darn thing won't obey or won't do anything. And it's just hilarious. If I can find that quote, I will put it in the blog.
Yay.
So that you can see that. But anyway, this was a lot of fun.
This was.
Okay, tell us about our next episode.
I would love to. It's going to be a mystery episode.
It's a mystery episode.
It's going to be a surprise to both of us.
It'll be wonderful. It'll be in the middle of April. It'll be close to Easter. Not that really matters much, but
I think we can only have one animal episode every season.
That's what I feel like. Last year, like in spring, we did animals.
Oh yeah,
we did friend familiars, I believe. So things are coming around.
So it will be amazing, whatever it ends up being, and good luck.
Good luck, Jody. It's yours.
Yes, it will be. It will be mine. All right. A huge thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed what we said today, if we said something that you really liked, we have a Patreon, we have a Buy Us a Coffee, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And oh, by the way, you can leave reviews.
Oh, yes.
There are, depending on which podcast platform you were on, if you have an opportunity to leave a review, it is a huge help to us, and it helps us find even more amazing writers just like yourself.
Perfect. Please leave us cat videos. I want to see them all.
We wouldn't mind.
I think we all need some cats right now.
Alrighty. This has been fun.
It has been fun. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Squirrel Podcast for the Distracted Writer with Candace J. Thomas and Jody L. Milner. Please like and subscribe to our podcast for updates and new episodes, and find more information at our website, squirrelpodcast.com. Stay distracted, everyone.
You have a point in point one. Would you like to make that point?
I feel I already did.
Okay, we can move on to point two.
No.
We're only 3 minutes into this episode.
I know. Well then.
Technically 4. So like I think they just have this I'm just repeating what you're saying.
No, but go ahead.
Yeah.